Guys, MACABESPEED coming at ya. Great episode today that I have wanted to bring you for over a year. The carbon fiber S45 Ultimate Edition is at the top of the dog pile as far as the S45 coolness factors that exist on the market today. This one in front of you is brand new. 0 miles, 0 shots on it, 0 people touching it besides myself, from Bluegrass Big Bore Airguns. Thomas over at Bluegrass Big Bore Airguns has gone ahead and partnered with the channel to go ahead and get it in the end zone on the development of the magazines for the S45 we've been working on. Honestly, it takes significantly more than you guys know or see to be able to get a product like that brought to market. It takes test ammunition, test rifles, test everything. Can't do it on my checkbook. I'm just a lowly sheet metal worker, right? Union as I may be, I'm a lowly sheet metal worker. So I don't have the physical checkbook to bring all of these things together to make the puzzle truly complete. Thomas stepped in and filled that gap, really bringing us a great test pig to go ahead and get this thing finalized for you guys. The carbon fiber version gives us the ability to go ahead and do one thing we haven't been able to do with on every single other S45 I own. Build a fat boy. Now, what exactly is a fat boy? I am of the opinion and potential belief that the 1100cc cylinder from Tuxing actually could potentially fit on this S45 with no modifications. Now, to the YouTube manual reviewer who's out there undoubtedly watching this before my loyal fans and patrons, your rules state in written format that I am allowed to disassemble a paintball or air gun for maintenance purposes. That is exactly what this is. This is an air cylinder. This is an air gauge. This is not a firearm, and no firearm maintenance will be performed. This is strictly air gun maintenance. Additionally, if you guys don't follow the guidelines that you yourself put out, well, there's a special place in hell reserved for liars. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Now, the number one thing you're going to want to go ahead and do as far as safety is concerned, anytime you're doing any kind of a modification on an air rifle or even basic maintenance, is take that step of due diligence and degas the air rifle. 300 bar is what crushed the Titan sub. So 300 bar in this cylinder, if used in the wrong way, could absolutely be a dangerous or even lethal situation for the user. Don't take it lightly, don't take the risk, do degas the air rifle. Even if you have to pump this thing 5,000 times by hand and get it back to nominal pressure, degas your air rifle. Now, the number one tool that I know of is these great plastic jawed channel locks to go ahead and just slip right around the gauge itself, loosening it and thereby using it as a bleed valve to get this system dry. Once we get the system dry, it should be a very simple manner of using my vanilla gorilla hands here to go ahead and twist this cylinder off. If the new Tuxing cylinder that we'll unbox together fits, our job will be done and they'll be ready to go ahead and add a rear tank, fill it up, and see how many shots we can get out of 1800 cc's of air in the S45 45 caliber. Let's go ahead and loosen this gauge together. You don't need a lot. You hear right away. That's all you need. And then just give it time, right? We're just about to the end of it there. We are going to go ahead and make the 100% safe move, however, and wait till it quits making noise to go ahead and try and remove this tank. Once it stops hissing at me, we'll go ahead and make the effort to go ahead and remove it and see if we can't get the new one installed. Let's take a second to look at what we got. You can just see the condensation on the bottle. It got cold. Now, this was purchased off of Amazon directly from the Tuxing store, the actual official Tuxing store, so we do know it to be an official actual Tuxing unit. Let's go ahead and look at the branding and label together. Ever since the old Titan sub incident, pressures have become terrifying to me. I'm low-key phobic about this, potentially more paranoid than I should be. But if I'm more paranoid than I should be, chances are I will never suffer a catastrophic failure due to a pressure vessel going off. This is really cool. This is really cool. It looks fat though. I don't know if this is gonna actually fit the rifle. Let's see if we can remove the old one and get the new one installed in its place. Okay, and Sally forth. I got it. There you go. There you go. Nothing to it but to do it, boys. There's a lot of threads there. That's actually fairly confidence inspiring. There's a significant length of threads on this valve that actually secure this bottle in place. Let's go ahead and take a look at the thickness of this bottle. I'm telling you guys, it's an investment in your garage. One little bottle of this lasts you your whole life. And it's not like I'm gonna like paint the threads or anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and touch it to it. That's it. That's all I need. Oh, it does fit. Is it gonna do it? No way. It's gonna fit. Bro, she's gonna fit. Oh, that fits, dude. Let's go ahead and give her a good hand crank, but I'm not gonna go nuts on this, right? It literally is just aluminum threads with probably a billet steel valve, and I don't want to go ahead and destroy this or compromise the integrity of these threaded surfaces. I just really want to make sure that it's snug. Yeah. Seems like she's going to be just fine. Additionally, I would say this is probably a pretty close equivalent of what I was initially torqued to with the factory bottle. I'm pretty happy with this. What I want to go ahead and do for you guys is tighten up this gauge back to the point where it was so we don't have a bleed in the system. Don't have to go crazy on that either. Just gave it a little quarter turn and that was all we needed to undo it, so that should be all we need to tension it. But like I said, the one thing I don't want to do is leave this system without pressure on the seals for too long. I think it's imperative that we go ahead and get some pressure in this thing and validate this cylinder on film for you guys. Alright guys, we're going to be filling this off the absolute best way that I can think of to fill a rifle like this, which is directly off a tank. These high pressure tanks just have the volume of air going into the valve and into that fill port necessary to really seat things, and they do so better than the compressors. Okay. When we get to about 2,000 psi, I'm going to go ahead and stop on this fill, and we're going to go ahead and just make sure that there's no obvious, oh good lord, almost killed all my jade plants, obvious leaks anywhere. Let's go ahead and pause this fill here, bleed the line, make sure there's no obvious leaks. Look how small of a gap you have between the barrel and the bottle, but it's there, it works, it's winner. This is a winner. Hell yeah. This is cool. Now, why did I go with tuxing as far as the cylinder replacement is concerned? It's because I have, once again, I'm going to state it, I can't overstate this, I have a newfound fear of pressure vessels, and the only aftermarket company that I have experience with at this point is the tuxing 700cc bottle that I have on my Blitz. I've got two of them. They both turned out to be immaculate quality, and they've been great every single time I've filled them up to this point. Because of that good experience with tuxing initially, I did decide to go ahead and go with them for this cylinder as well. This is not a DOT cylinder, but it does bear the CE1282 logo. I hope that no matter what, this episode goes to show you guys out there, if you may have had any concerns or doubts that Bluegrass Big Bore Air Guns was a real company, that they absolutely 100% without a doubt are. Thomas has a passion for these things, and I can't say enough good things about all of the steps I physically watched this guy take to start this company. I gotta say, I respect the tenacity and I relate to it greatly, starting a company of my own multiple times in my life. You gotta have a passion to be successful, and I do see that with Thomas. So if there's anybody out there who has any questions as far as whether or not this is just a scam website ripping you off, you're absolutely incorrect on that fact. Let's fill this up the rest of the way. Seems good. And wind on her. Now I've kind of given it that initial pressure charge, I am just going to go ahead and let this thing eat all the way up to about 300 bar. This tank was a 4,500 PSI tank before we started, so it'll actually be interesting to go ahead and see what kind of a fill level I'm going to expect to get to from dead empty on this 1100 cc tank. I mean, it's twice the size of the factory cylinder up front. There goes about 3,000 PSI right there. Bottle is still warm, but still doing good. It's only going to get to about 3,600 PSI. Currently in front of you, we have the makings of the S45 45 caliber Fat Boy Edition. This is going to be insanely helpful for those big magazines that we are putting together that require that big volume of air. We are going to be adding a 700cc tuxing tank to the rear of this as well, like I said earlier, for an 1800cc total volume on the compressed air factor. It's going to be one wicked ride when we do finally get it out to the range. I think it's going to be a great place for today to go ahead and end today's episode. If you like today's episode, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe for more with that notifications button so that you can stay current on the channel as well as when these videos come out. If you really like this video, make sure you share it so somebody else can see it. And I'll catch you boys in the next one.